super good, guys. Jinxie is still alive.
Oh my god, like what the fuck?
I got it.
Nice.
Bro.
Straight
And
into
it's
an
like,
aerial.
the last team could an aerial, this team can. What the fuck is this game? Good shot. Wait, we're in this.
No.
Tons.
Good shot.
Come on.
Wait, I think it is Jinxie.
Oh my god. What?
That's this one.
He's fucking dude. Oh, he missed the ball.
Oh, he fucking.
He missed the ball, which meant I missed the ball. If he'd have hit the ball, I had it. Look how fucking shit.
Yeah, this seems right.
Fucking cunt.
Wait, what? How is he gold in all of these?
He missed.
I got it.
What? How is he gold in all of these?
That's it. That's in their net.
No, he's fucking sat there like a big fat cunt.
Fucking suck, man.
Nice
On
shit,
your
that's
line,
in their
Dick.
net.
Have that one, you big fat knobhead.
Holy shit,
Come
you're actually
on.
locked! Come on, Jinx,
Come
baby!
on. Come on.
Angry Jenny.
You scored the same.
Oh,
You scored
Angry
the same
Jenny.
fucking points as your pig. Can you do something?
Alright, sorry. Sorry. Every time I go for an aerial, that's what happens. I just overrun it.
Jinxie's looking way better, to be honest.
I got it.
Nice chin. Wait, over the middle. I'm over the middle.
I got that.
No, that's... We have to score. Wait. Shot! Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh my god!
nice.
Oh my god! Bro, you're a god.
They might
You guys
win.
are so good at this game.
Come on.
We need to score one more to tie this.
You go. Gotta hit it, Jinx.
I got it. Clear that, Jinx. Nice, baby. Hit it. Nice. Hit it, Jinx. Oh no.
Oh, I mean, we all hit it.
Ah.
Can I give you a bit
Lala.
of constructive criticism?
Yeah.
What I've noticed you keep doing is boosting towards the next boost. You need to save your boost in case I need it.
Okay.
Okay, nice. If you've got at least like 40 boosts,
Oh, fuck eh. Fuck eh.
and that's also towards your own net. Oh fuck.
Missed it.
Fucking aerial again.
Hit it.
Aerial that. Nice, go on, get it in.
Hit it. Hit it over the middle.
In the box.
It's aerial. It depends.
Fucking more aerial, fucking doesn't fucking
Ah, 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 ah.
Oh mate, have a fucking
That's
day
good.
off the fat. Nice junk on.
We can win, bro. We can win. I hit it.
Nice you. Go.
I got it. I'm gonna hit it again. Over the middle to you.
I'm not there, but I'll do it.
Over the middle to you.
Yeah, try.
He missed. They both missed. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's not really in the middle.
Sorry. You missed.
I would say I'm also better than Epic, dude.
Fuck off!
I hit it. Over the middle. It's going over the middle.
Got no boost.
Ooh, that looks good.
Subway's
Oh,
protein packet.
sorry, guys.
2 grams of protein, crisp veggies, and tasty sauce. For
Let's
just
play.
$3.99.
Well, I get to play at least.
$3.99? What? $3.99? $3.99? $3.99?
That's a slog.
Hey, what's that?
Nobody tell her.
Subway's new protein pockets
That's over 20 grams of protein for $3.99. Try all 4.
Life moves fast.
17 seconds estimated.
Citizens, you're ready for anything.
Guess we're going to the championship.
Ready to go solo?
Okay, guys, we need to win this. Let's go, guys. Last match before I actually.
She got in.
Let's get you ready for what's next. Make sense of your money with Citizens.
I thought I wasn't going for some reason.
We need a suggestion.
Home and auto insurance.
Okay. Any other ideas?
Bundling your home and auto insurance for round-the-clock protection with Progressive.
Okay, more ideas.
Anything goes.
Sacrifice.
Good one. Okay, great.
Like how you don't have to sacrifice great coverage to save on insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive.
I heard bathtub.
The Jeep brand is still keeping it fresh after 85 years. See for yourself at the Jeep
Nice.
Start Something New sales event.
Hoppings on lads. Hoppings on lads.
More adventure for everyone. Start your adventure today at the Jeep Start Something New sales event with a great deal. Jeep, there's only one.
During the Jeep Start Something New sales event, well-qualified current Jeep Grand Cherokee or Jeep Wrangler lessees can lease the 2025 Grand Cherokee Laredo X 4x4 for $339 a month. See your New Hampshire Jeep brand dealer.
I got 2 words for you. Loyalty program. Snag this hotel for $250 a night.
Oof.
You didn't check Trivago? I got it for $155. Yo, Benny, this guy didn't check Trivago.
Oh, you have to check Trivago.
Look, on Trivago, you can compare prices from multiple different sites.
And loyalty programs and prices for hotel websites.
Same hotel, $100 less.
2 words. Check
Nice.
Benny.
Check Trivago to compare prices and save up to 40%. Hotel?
Oof.
New NYX Professional Makeup Jelly Job Gloss. A lightweight lippy that means business with a Boss applicator.
Let's go back.
Jelly? So ready. This is NYX Professional Makeup.
Isn't it absolutely bonkers that you can walk into a store, hand someone a piece of plastic, and they will
That's a nice shot.
over Reese's cups? Forget flying cars. This is it. We're at the pinnacle. Also try Carolina.
Leviticus.
Life is good.
Nice. Leviticus 13. I have no idea what Leviticus. I think it's in the Bible. Nice. That was crazy. It's crazy, guys. Turn me on like a light. What's happening? Oh, he just left. Oh. Well, now I can watch this.
Home. It's a scam. It's actually a fucking
Let's
scam.
go, guys. I'm
Normal
flat
people
3
don't
finally.
have depreciation on their house. And by the way, depreciation is when an asset degrades in value. So anybody knows this with amortization or any sort of like asset ownership inside of a large company. And again, large companies deal in
All
7
cars are
figures
depreciated.
all the time.
Assets.
So the fact is, and that's a small company. Big companies are 9 and 10 figures of depreciation. I'm not even serious.
Oh,
Cars also, yeah. Cars is another great example. Yeah. If you're able to write this off your taxes, if you're owning these houses, then you should absolutely be able to do that whenever you're doing this too.
Oh, nice.
This is
3v3.
crazy.
I actually like 3v3. Wait, I'm basically diamond. I'm almost diamond.
Old Donald has participated in this too. Good. Good. Let's get some of, you know what we should do? We should have the Somalian Samaritan program, where we can get some of these guys from Somalia that really understand these scams,
Yeah, dude.
and we give them solid citizenship, and we say, listen, bro, I want you to tell us how this works. I want you to break it down. I want you to make a flow chart and everything. Yep, the good Somalian Samaritan. That's hard to say. Have them do this, right? Catch it again, yes, definitely. And you have these guys back. All right, so wait a minute. So you're saying they go on WhatsApp, and then they do.
Why?
So then they send it to this
Why were they playing that
the
badly?
account sends it back.
Like, he just is like, okay, here, have the bomb. That was terrible. How was it that bad? Okay, whatever.
Okay, that's in the LLC, but the LLC's in the mother. Okay, I got it. All right. And then so then they write that off, and then they get the rebate from that. Okay, got it. And that's it. Yeah, the good Somalian Samaritan. Because I agree, we need to get these scammers in the government. We do. We need to get them in the government and have them figure this out.
Something we're gonna have to think about too. I don't know too many people think about it. You buy a corporation.
I've never thought about that. He's right.
Buy 500 things a person can't get depreciation on a house. But when a corporation buys, they can get depreciation. It's something we're gonna have to think about too.
It's ridiculous. Delete it right now. This is what a crazy fucking exploit.
I don't know too many people think about it. You buy a corporation, they buy 500 houses. They buy hundreds of thousands. They buy 500 houses. They can take depreciation.
Yep.
Person
And think about how much money that is. So if the depreciation on a house is, let's say, $1,000 a year, think about that.
Nice,
It's basically rent for 1 month. You're getting free rent for a month if you're depreciating the house.
Oh, oops, I accidentally. The blue guy passed it to me.
Let me look at this.
Shouldn't have said that. Whatever. The minor is.
How much does a house every year U.S. average?
It's like
1%
360.
annually. Okay, so if it's 1%
Oh, what?
annually, and then the house price is, let's say, $400,000, that's $4,000. Most houses don't depreciate? Really? Really, your house doesn't depreciate. So, you don't really ever need to get a new roof any type of years. You the roof just is infinite. It's infinite roofs. The roof is just infinite. You never run out of roofs.
I have a problem called infinite roofs.
It's location based? You're talking
No,
about
but it doesn't. Maybe it depreciates. I don't know, but it's weird because it usually increases in value. You know?
It's different? Oh, it's different. Oh, okay. So then it's true. So then I'm right. Okay.
Maybe they can depreciate, but they usually go up in value. So technically, yes.
Signed an executive order banning large institutional investors from buying single-family homes. It's just not fair to the public. They're not able to buy it.
Keep in mind, this is something that a lot of these like pretend socialists love to complain about. They love to talk about how bad this is, but they never brought this up. I have not seen a single one of them make a single comment that any of them said that what he did was good. This is obviously good. There's no reason why this shouldn't have happened. And I just want y'all to see that, just to see how transparent some of those people are.
Nice.
They're bullshitters. Total bullshitters.
Oh, you're British.
And I'm calling on Congress to pass that ban into permanent law. I think they will.
I think they should. I mean, honestly, like, it's something Democrats have to get behind, basically, right? Because so much of their base is, like, you know, radical left-wing people. And I wonder if they will go against this just to spite Trump. Executive order sadly means nothing until it's codified. Well, it should be codified. It absolutely should be.
It's crazy, guys. 3-3.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a good thing.
We're gonna win. I know my teammates are kind of bad, but like we're gonna win.
Because this is and the other thing too is that this is a direct existential problem that Americans are facing at this very moment. This isn't a theoretical Russia attacks us and we have to have Greenland or something like that. That's like a bullshit theoretical argument, like who knows.
That's crazy.
But
They
this
didn't
is
disclose
immediate, direct, specific, and personal. This absolutely should be the focus. It's one of the reasons why I think Mamdani won in New York. It's because he focused on immediate, direct, and personal things. It's kind of what I said at the beginning of the stream about COVID. And the reason why COVID was so activating for politics is because so many people were now being, basically they're now being affected by politics directly for the first time in their life. This should be the main focus in America? Yeah, I think so. Removing property tax will take away that loophole for the most part? Maybe, I don't know. In some places they do have no property tax. It's why Trump welcomed him and he'll be supportive. Yeah, I mean, Mamdani, it's the same. Like, he has a lot of, like, economically, I think he has a lot of ideas that I agree with. But sometimes I don't agree with
I actually don't agree.
the idea. But ultimately, I mean, again, it's like an 80-20.
Wait, am I like the highest rated? Damn, oh no, I'm second highest rated.
80%, right?
In our hemisphere, so we did it for ourselves also. And then after the war, which we won it big without us. Right now, you're only speaking German, little Japanese, perhaps.
Little Japanese or what?
The very, very muted laughter.
Perhaps.
It's like 3 people laughing.
After the war, we gave Greenland back to Denmark.
Wait, I might literally be dying.
But we did it.
Let's see.
I don't think we gave it back to them, right? We could have taken it then. I mean, sure.
You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Every time it goes around,
No.
You're supposed to make money with energy, not lose money. Here in Europe, we've seen the fate that the radical left tried to...
Can you imagine being somebody that, like, I mean, this is so, like, this is the president talking about a bill is $1,000, and then one of his biggest detractors in the country that's also really well known, that runs the most profitable state in the country, is talking about sucking his dick, and that he's a dinosaur, that, like, he either has to fuck you or kill you. Like,
Okay, guys, we need to win this. I think I have one try, so I can lose once, but I want to win.
Like, all high and mighty Europeans are like, wait, what the fuck? Like, what the hell's going on here? What is this?
They tried very hard. Germany had charged 22% less electricity than they did in 2017. And it's not the current chancellor.
NATO's gay? Is that true?
He's going to do a great job. But what they did before he got there, I guess that's why he got there. And electricity prices are 64% higher. The United Kingdom produces just 1/3 of the total energy from all sources that it did in 1999. Think of that, 1/3.
What happened?
And they're sitting right off the North Sea, one of the greatest reserves anywhere in the world. But they don't use it. And that's one reason why their energy has reached catastrophically low levels with equally high prices. High prices, very low levels. Think of that, 1/3.
Wow.
On top of the North Sea, and they like to say, well, it's complete, it's not complete, it's got
Net zero Bush. What was that?
incredible. Let anybody drill environmentally.
Wasn't gonna go in there.
They make it possible for the oil companies to go. They take 92% of the revenues. So the oil companies say, we can't do it. They came to see me, is there anything you can do? I want Europe to do great. I want UK to do great. Sitting on one of the greatest energy sources in the world, they don't use it.
Government's focused on net zero? Why are they focused on net zero? I mean, like, why would you give a fuck about that if you can't even, like, aren't they buying energy from Russia? And isn't Russia attacking Ukraine? Like, what's the logic there? But you're focused more on climate change than Russia using bombs? Like, I don't understand this.
In fact, their electricity prices have soared 139.
Seems stupid.
There are windmills all over the world. There are windmills all over the place. And they are losers One thing I've noticed is that the more windmills a country has,
He hates windmills. Honestly, like I've never seen anybody hate windmills. Well, I mean, obviously, like who else? Maybe Don Quixote. Like besides that, like, who else hates windmills this much?
the more money the country loses and the worse that country is doing. China makes almost all the windmills. And yet I haven't been able to find any wind farms in China. Did you ever think of that? It's a good way of looking at it. They're smart. China's very smart. They make it, they sell it for a fortune. They sell it to the stupid people that buy them. But they don't use them themselves. They put out a couple of big wind farms, but they don't use them. They just put them up to show people what they could look like. They don't spin, they don't do anything. They use something called coal, mostly. China goes with the coal, they go with
Wow.
gas.
Is incorrect. China just uses
nuclear. And then just
Wait, I
So,
actually
yeah, I think we
saved
should use nuclear power way more too, honestly. I really do. I don't know why it hasn't happened. And, no, I totally, I don't understand that at all. But who the fuck knows? Anyway, let's go, keep going. Here it is.
It could be more than 19 billion. Can you believe that? That's just one state. If we were able to cut out 50% of the fraud, 50%, we should be able to do better than that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We have a balanced budget.
That was a good shot.
About even grow. So we have a lot of options, but we're working very hard on that. That's a big deal. It's not just.
If you want to get rid of the fraud, you have to take the people that are doing the fraud and put them in jail. You have to put everybody involved in jail. Like, and any of the people that are aware of it. And this is the reason why fraud never, like, there's no incentive to stop defrauding. Like, you know, you get a fine, maybe you get 6 months in jail.
That's not in. Oh, it is? Okay. Well, I guess it is. There's nothing I can do
You have to
about
put in
it.
jail for like 10 years. I would say maybe.
Okay, let me try.
White collar fraud? Well, yeah, of course. Yeah, duh. Obviously. Like, if you want to, so do you want to get rid of fraud, or do you want to field it? I want to get rid of fraud. So if you want to get rid of fraud, put them in jail for 20 years. You're going to see a lot less fraud. That's how it works. Yeah, it's just, it's common sense, man. What dumbass type that? Well, I mean, people don't understand, right? Is that, like, a lot of these people, they do it, and they get away with it because there's not any punishment.
The protests, the fake protests done by agitators and professional. It could be more than 19.
And also hobos. Don't forget about hobos. And I'll get to this in a minute. President Trump declares Somalia isn't a real country. You can just do things. Yeah, I guess so. And anyway, so let me go back to what's here. Okay.
Oh, really? That's actually good. They might consider Somaliland a country.
European capitals that the only way to grow a modern Western economy is through ever-increasing government spending, unchecked mass migration, and endless foreign imports. The consensus was that so-called dirty jobs and heavy industry should be sent elsewhere, that affordable energy should be replaced by the Renew Scam, and that
Nice, I can win.
by importing new and entirely different populations from
Yeah, that's good.
faraway lands.
Let's go, guys.
This was the path that Sleepy Joe Biden administration.
Oh my god! He just going out there and saying it. I've been waiting on this for a while. Oh, I've been trying to say this for years. Thank fucking God. This is amazing.
And Western governments very foolishly follow turning their backs on everything that makes nations rich and powerful and strong.
Yeah.
And there's so much potential in so many nations. The result was record budget and trade deficits and a growing largest wave of mass migration in human history. We've never seen anything like it. Quite frankly, many parts of our world are being destroyed before our very eyes, and the leaders don't even understand what's happening. And the
Oh my god. He's actually
Before
saying,
I
I've been waiting on this for so long.
Yeah, oh shit.
Was this here? Somebody's upset?
Oh no, we're on the worst. Well, I can win maybe.
Pull me up, you're off base. There's too many times you typed it. You're in system, it's annoying. I did see it. I saw you spam it multiple times. You know you're not supposed to spam. I've said you're not supposed to spam. I didn't pull you up because it was a pointless conversation. You didn't bring an argument. You just said you're off base. I don't want to listen to that. It's stupid. I want to hear you wrong.
The ones that do understand aren't doing anything about it. Virtually.
Yeah, no, I think that really, it's crazy that like he
recent decades it became conventional wisdom in Washington
and they tried to do this and just import more and more people, right? Yeah, guys, I gotta have a little bit more of that. And so what are you reading messages and then base it off of that, right? It's really not that complicated. So yeah, and what is this? You got another one right here. Trump's on one today. Clintons are officially held in contempt of Congress. Well, wait a minute. So Nick Shirley is testifying today. Trump just straight up says mass migration is bad. He calls people that are coming from, he says that there's a tier list of immigrants. And now they're also putting Bill Clinton and they're being officially held in contempt of court. All this is happening today. What a day. I'll be right back. And then I'll look at that one, okay? All right, good. Maybe they can send in the military, fine.
The Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland. Sorry. The Danish foreign minister rejected what you said in your speech that you were hoping to negotiate. The Danish foreign minister rejected your call to negotiate on Greenland.
What a dumb bitch.
Sorry. The Danish foreign minister rejected what you said in your speech that you were hoping to negotiate.
Okay, great. There's one-liners. I don't remember this at all. Okay, let me see if there's any more of these that are worth looking at. But yeah, this was a pretty big one. And let me see if I missed any of the other ones that, I didn't find on Twitter before the beginning of the day. Let's see here, Defense America First. Okay, what's this here? Climate change. I mean, I don't think that, again, like, climate change matters a lot, but I think that you can't make everybody's lives worse just to do climate change, right? I mean, I don't think you should do that. It depends on what the degree of it is, and if, like, you're doing it and it's at the expense of everybody, then what's really the point? Especially whenever a lot of the climate change models that people have come up with have been proven to be untrue. Like, if climate change, restrictions make people's quality of life worse, then maybe it's not really the best option. I think there's smart ways to do it, and there's ways to develop them that way. Wait a minute.
One of the biggest barriers to saving for a down payment has been surging credit card debt. The profit margin for credit card companies now exceeds 50%.
I thought it was 40%. A 50% margin?
I don't know what this is. I should know.
Biggest. And they charge Americans interest rates of 28%, 30%, 31%, 32%, whatever happened to the user.
Nice guys, this shit's nice. Yeah bro, this shit's...
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
Yeah bro, shit.
So to help our citizens recover from the Biden disaster all caused by this horrible, just horrible precedent, I'm asking Congress to cap credit card interest rates at 10% for 1 year.
Holy shit.
No.
Thank fucking God. Bro.
No.
Holy shit, only a year? Well, yeah, because once you get the foot in the door with that, some
Well,
people
that's
are gonna
pension.
be going back up to fucking 30%, right? This is insane. Yeah, economically stupid idea. Well, okay, so you care about the economic... I don't care about that. I don't. If these credit card companies, if their business model is built around usury, then maybe they don't have a good business model. Why is it that like you're operating under the pretense that these credit card companies have some sort of God-given right to be able to scam people and then just extort them for huge amounts of money? I don't think so. I don't agree with that. I think that's retarded. It's bullshit.
And this will help millions of Americans save for a home. They have no idea they're paying 28%. They go out there literally, they lose their house.
What's usury? Usury is charging an exorbitant amount of interest in order to basically put somebody into debt forever for borrowing money. That's the reason why. 50% was promised them 3,000 years ago. Well, it's time to end the promise. It's time to break the promise. We go to jail for charging them amount of interest, but not bank companies. We got people now defending banks. I know. It should be classified under predatory lending practices. Absolutely. You know what I think they should also do? They should do that with student loans. I think they should. If you get groomed for 12 years going to school and then you finally take out a student loan because every person in your life that you trust has told you that it's the right decision, is it really something you should be held accountable for the rest of your life? I don't think so. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's obviously manipulative and it's predatory completely. You're grooming kids. If somebody did that to a kid in like a sexual way, they go to jail. Maybe the people that are doing it in financial ways should go to jail too.
Biden's disaster caused by this Americans.
Nice.
Wow. I would be so happy about this. I would be. This is amazing.
Millions of
Hermes
Americans
Ramp. Hermes Ramp.
28%. They go out there literally, they end up losing their house.
Yep.
But I wanna
Why the fuck do we let that happen? Why the fuck are we doing that? Why are we putting up with this bullshit? It's absolute shit, man. Oh, he's talking about Minnesota inside of the... Okay.
Juanito win this. Why is this guy rated so high?
$18 billion in fraud that was stolen by Somalian banks. Can you believe that Somalian banks turned out to be higher IQ than you thought? I always say these are low IQ people. How are they going to Minnesota and steal all the money? And we have neither the pilots said we should shut them out of...
They're... Jesus, guys.
The water just like you shoot the boats out. They're not going to continue with boats out in the house.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro, shit, that's fucking true, bro, shit.
And they say we're going to blow up these powerful weapons. You hit the side of the boat, blow the whole thing up. The insurance companies are petrified, so they say just give them the boat, give them money instead. And we blow it the hell out.
Oh, oops, that was pretty bad.
We don't have any pirates so much anymore. We do.
I haven't heard that much about the Somalian pirates. That's kind of true. Yeah.
They won't be there long.
Now they're in Minnesota instead.
We've cut down with the hitting of the boats that are loaded up with drugs, including submarines. Can you believe it? Because won't have mini subs very fast. They're meant for drugs. We've knocked out two of them. The Democrats say they're fishing.
I love how they say they were fishing. These people can figure out and read a license plate from a satellite. And you think they don't know what's on a boat? Are you kidding me?
A boat.
They were able to extract the president of another country and shut down their entire electrical grid, and you think that they don't know what's on a boat? Are you kidding me? How can you even think this?
Somebody's fishing.
It's so stupid.
A submarine is not a fishing boat. We don't fish. But we've
I thought you have to fish with a fish on.
knocked down drugs by the oceans, the sea, by 97.2%. And I actually said, who the hell are the 3%? Because I would not want to be piloting one of those boats. We knocked it down and then we started
It's kind of impressive, honestly.
the land is easy, but what we do on sea is incredible. And that's a good military.
1-1, let's go this.
Remind us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures, which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own. Remind us that the West cannot mass import foreign cultures, which have failed to ever build a successful society of their own.
Thank fucking God. Holy shit. Obviously this is true. Duh. Of course. Trump actually made, yes, thank God. I'm so glad that he's saying this stuff. Yes, obviously, if you bring a bunch of people over from a place that's a shithole, the place that they're going to go to is probably going to turn into a shithole too. Obviously, if you just took a random plot of land and you teleported all the Japanese people to this plot of land, that area is going to look a lot like Japan. It's pretty fucking obvious, but the moment that you apply this to something else, people think that somehow it's racist. No, it's not. It's common sense. Duh, Trump's been watching? Yeah, you're looking at reality. So obviously this is the case. Yes, duh. And I am glad to see that there are a lot of things that I say that Trump ends up saying, right? I don't think that he's watching me or something, right? That's insane. But I do think that it's really nice to be validated, okay? It's great to be validated by the president. That part will be redacted on European TV. Well, yeah, of course, because it would be illegal. But yes, very obviously we should not be importing people. Like every single immigrant from every country is not going to have the same effect. And there are definitely going to be like averages and means that come out of each different country based off of how well those people on average assimilate, what their education is, how close their culture is to American culture. All these things are obvious, but to a lot of people, we want to pretend like they're not. The fact is that, yes, very clearly, an immigrant that's coming from, let's say, Sweden, or an immigrant that's coming from the United Kingdom, is going to probably, on average, have a higher rate of, assimilation, being able to fit in.
I knew I couldn't do that.
They're going to have a much higher rate of that than somebody coming in from Zimbabwe, or from Afghanistan, or Pakistan, or from Somalia. Like, I'm not saying that it's a 100 to 0, but it's about an average. And if one average
Why did he have to
10%,
mention
and another
Zimbabwe?
average is 80%, that's not a number that you can ignore. That's a crazy differentiator. So
Nice. Bro, I just like skipped him. I did like the... I don't know.
What about what
I don't
I'm
know
saying
how
that you
to...
think is propaganda? No, we really, I want to get to the bottom of this. We're going to get to the bottom of this. What about what I'm saying here is propaganda? It's okay. We're going to listen to it. You've been upset about this. Hopefully he's got a good point. Hopefully he's got a good argument here. And then we'll all be smarter because of him. Or is everybody ready to be smarter? Let's get ready to be smarter. Honestly, I really wish some of these chatters would have opinions that were, like, worth talking about, because it helps me just, like, it helps me run the stream, right? Is that, like, you give me, like, a topic to talk about, and then I can just talk about it at length, right? But, like, so many of you guys that are getting mad in chat, there's not even anything to it. It's just like, you're wrong, this is bad. It's annoying. Yeah, you bounce off of it. Yeah, exactly. But... Bro, please,
Nice.
can you at least explain it? Can you at least fucking explain
I'm gonna get some water.
But now? What does this mean? You don't pull up the good one?
I'm gonna drink water, I'll be back. Alla tattica dura, danno e stava. I guess I'm back. I gotta do something quick. How about we do this? What did it? Do it. Okay. Okay. Wait, no, it's still not. Okay. Nice.
Ones though, I don't think that there are that many good ones. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, please, can you at least explain it? Can you at least fucking
Yeah,
explain
that's it.
what you mean? But now? What does this mean? You don't pull up
Lol,
fucking
he's
Google?
like crying.
I don't think that there are that many good ones.
Crying, bro.
Yes. I don't. Oh my god. You like Devil's Advocate, right? You hate Devil's Advocate, though? I do. If you don't actually think something, I don't want to hear your fake argument. I only see you talking for Trump without any contradiction, because I agree with what he's saying. Why would I contradict what he's saying if I'm agreeing with him? I think he's right. Duh.
Lol.
Is that... Like, you see what I'm saying? You switch from Dig to Reddit, now that Dig is back. Is it really? I never heard about that. Yeah. If you don't actually think something, I don't want to hear your fake argument. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see that. Like, people that make fake arguments that don't actually believe them, they're just wasting time.
Oh shit, it's another 1v1, oh shit.
Reason to have a conversation about it.
Okay, I hope I win this.
Like, I know I'm wrong, but I just want
I think this is the hardest mode.
There'll just be people spamming.
Like 1v1s is the hardest mode to get high ranks.
That's all I have to say. You know, this is the reason why at least I can sometimes appreciate Destiny clips. Is that you will at least have an actual criticism that I can talk about. Like, you never give me anything to talk about. You're just like, you're wrong, idiot, that's it. At least, you know, sometimes there will be an accusation, and it's like, okay, well, now we can go off of this, now we can use this. So let me explain, let me ask you, now that you did this, do you agree with what
Oh, that's a nice shot.
Do you agree with it? I'm not asking what I agree with, I'm asking if you agree with it. What do you think? Not what anybody else thinks. What do you think? We're gonna hear this. 34 messages in 6 years? Yeah, the guy's kind of based. He's not gonna get banned. He's not gonna get banned.
No, bro, this guy's crazy, bro.
I'm
Shit.
not agree with Trump. What if Trump says that you should exercise and eat healthy? What happens if Trump says that water is good for you? What happens then? I mean, I want to understand this. This is like everything. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your contribution. I really appreciate you being part of today's stream. You're really doing a great job, and I hope you get everything that you want. He's trolling. He is an individual. He is a certain kind of individual, and he is in fact a person. That's true. I'm not agree with Trump. I can't agree. Yeah, I can't agree with that. There it is, right, guys?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Tall the Traveling Cloud, and I have been
He's not.
$7,000.
His name is not agree with
Get the
Trump.
first down below description at thetravelingcloud.com. As you guys know, I was recently issued a fatwa at the behest of the Islamic Republic of Iran for speaking out for my Iranian compatriots about the freedom and the protest that I so desire for Iran to be free. Well, I now have a warrant for my arrest to take me back from
Wait,
Iran.
he's in Zen
To
Club?
take me
Oh.
back to Iran and put
What?
me into
Okay.
jail and God knows what else. And I'm a little afraid, and I want to prepare myself. So I've brought in an expert. Ladies and gentlemen, Sami Yahoud. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Nice to meet you.
Fatwa wa alaik. On your head. Sponsored truly by Sami Yahoud. Thank you for having me, my friend.
Fatwa alaik is amazing. I've never heard it before. Guys, Sami is an incredible advocate, not just for the Jewish people, not just for Israel, but for Western civilization, and for people, I would say, to take, like I've said already 3 times today, take life by the balls and do something with it. But I want to let him actually introduce who he is for a moment, please. The floor is yours, brother.
Yalla. My name is Sami Yahoud. I grew up in London as a little Jew boy. Went to a big Jewish school. Took it all for granted. Didn't really understand what was going on until I left. And I was just hit with the shock of my life. The whole world of the Jewish community. My bubble was burst. I realized I have to defend myself. I have to understand my identity, my roots, and my culture, and stand up for it with some courage. So fast forward a few years, and I decided to take that on. I gave my previous career up, and I decided to go full-time into giving people the inspiration and the motivation to stand up for their values and their children's future.
Now you may be wondering why the two of us are like we dressed up like we just came out of the desert, but that's because we were having conversations with Islamists and people from all over the world to try to understand differing perspectives and bring our perspectives to them. But today is not just about perspective, Sami. Today is about action. I have an actual threat of violence on my head now. And I'm curious if you were in the same shoes as me. Well, actually, you have been in the same position several times already, as we know by your amazing content we've reacted to on the channel multiple times. What would you do? What is step 1 for Sami if you get a fatwa on your head? What should Tal do? We'd love to know.
It's concerning, my friend, because I've been attacked a few times in the streets of London because I've been a little bit provocative. I have been known to be, just a little bit.
It's crazy, guys.
A pinch. And that being said, it was not planned. Like, I did not publicize that I was going to be there. They had no idea. They actually just jumped me. And it was pretty bad. Like, one case was 7 of them. Wow. In the space of 2 minutes, wow. They all collected themselves and came after me.
All Islamists.
Yeah, man. In the streets of what's supposed to be one of the most tolerant and liberal and diverse parts of town. We experience diversity in its fullest. But what I will say, my friend, is the only option is peace through strength. The only option is to stand up.
Oh, nice. That was a good goal.
Protect yourself.
I didn't think I'd get that.
To use Israel as an example, Israel does not get peace by going and helping with earthquake victims in Haiti or a sworn enemy, Turkey. Israel gets peace by hitting their enemy 100 times harder than they can possibly hit us. And that's peace through strength. And that's what fathers should be striving to be able to do for their children. And just to be capable of it. I'm not saying start fights. I'm not saying even being confrontational like me to show courage for your identity. I'm just saying the bare minimum, being able to protect yourself and your family. And I know you're hard at work at that behind the scenes.
Yeah, actually, I've talked about this a little bit on the show, but since Sami actually opened up for a bunch of creators in the summer, this like it was kind of like a crash course on self-defense, and it really inspired me to actually take this more seriously. And I've been taking kickboxing classes and learning slight Krav Maga. I've never thrown a punch in my life, never thrown a kick. I was learning how to kick somebody the other day. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. You have to be so coordinated to pull it off. But just in 4 or 5 sessions of doing these self-defense classes, and I've been dieting in the last couple months. I've lost 5+ kilos now. It's
Bro, is he unranked?
like I'm getting a grasp and control.
Yeah, he's unranked.
For these situations. Yes, I live in Israel, which is nice, but I'm not always living in Israel, and sometimes I will go abroad.
Can I please just get the...
threats to be captured by Islamist thugs,
Okay,
which
yeah.
could be on the streets of London, could be
Oh,
all
yeah.
over the streets of Europe. We have no idea. Immigration in the UK and in Europe has been completely, unfounded. There's just tons of people pouring in. You don't know who could be there as an IRGC thug or a Shia militia. You have no idea. So for me, knowing that I'm at least a little bit more prepared, even if it's 2% more, it makes me feel a lot more empowered. Now, there's many Jews who watch my content, and they write to me, and to you as well, about what is the practical step they could do today? What is the practical step Tal could take to, preparing himself for an attack by somebody who has fatwa'd him? What is a practical step that Michael Rosenberg, who's watching the video, wants to do, can do tomorrow to actually make himself or herself feel more confident walking around New York City, walking around London?
We take our existence for granted in many cases. In society, we have these bubbles, not just the Jewish communities, but we have these bubbles of comfort. We have our 9 to 5, we have our luxuries like restaurants and all of these things in our houses where we can turn on the air conditioning and make it
12%, 10%. This is crazy.
more reliant on the system and make us more ignorant to the
Top
reality
12,
of
top
existence,
10
which is
again.
a brutal one. You step out into the
Crazy.
elements for 2 days and you'll notice that everything's
17.
and
Then the
same is,
46
human existence,
randomly.
we've just created societies which are comfortable and are largely, or at least the illusion of, safe
That's good.
from that reality. So what can people do is give themselves that perspective and have gratitude for their comfortable existence, but never allow that to push them into a pit of complacency, which I think we found ourselves in. Over half of American adults are overweight. We are become complacent, which means
Probably, yeah. But a bit under half of people are obese in the US, almost.
I want to give people bite-sized tips to be able to take that step and to meet them where they're at, wherever they may be, and to drive them towards that courage for their identity.
How did he get there that quickly?
And just to protect their values.
I think the future that we're facing is existential. A lot of us don't realize it. And it's what's lit the fire under my ass to actually take action, because I tried avoiding this kind of, I don't even want to call it violent, because it's not really violent, it's just being able to defend yourself. But this idea of self-defense, this idea of having to use violence, I avoided it for many years because I wasn't ready for it. I didn't want to think about it. I was happy being a happy-go-lucky hippie traveling around the world. But shit has changed. Life is different now for all of us. And specifically, I would say this message is targeted towards Jews and many ethnic minorities who live in the Middle East under the threat of Islamism, or if you live in the West, in places like Europe or in America, under the threat of rising Islamism, and our governments who are betraying us all over the world, allowing Islamists in. Sammy, what is your prediction? And I'd love for you to be optimistic, because I don't know if we talk about sort of like the dark and the negative. What is your prediction for the Jewish world? Where do you see us going when it comes to this peace through strength ideology and self-defense?
I think we have one or two options. We do. We can continue with this complacency, and you said that a lot of people don't see the existential nature of the threat. I think many of them, I think that's true, but also many of them do see it and are paralyzed by the amount of information we have, are paralyzed by the fact that they're so deep in that bubble of comfort and community, and they don't see it on their doorstep in the suburbs, so it's not a problem. But we have to shake our realities up, and like I said, we have to give ourselves bite-sized steps to take, so that we get to the point of being able to stand up courageously for our values. And that's option B. The correct option is individuals take accountability for their identity, for the preservation of their children's future. We have waited not just for the governments, which across Europe are betraying us, not just being competent, but they're betraying us. We're waiting for our leadership to make change top down.
I was gonna help it, like, I wasn't gonna help that going, it was gonna go in anyway, but...
incompetent and not betraying us. So what can we do? We can either continue waiting for that change that's not going to come top down, or we can ensure that our communities on an individual level are making change from the bottom up individually, starting by going and standing in front of the mirror and asking yourself, where's the camera? Here's the camera. Go and stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself, am I a Maccabee or am I a Dubala? Am I coddled by my comfort? Or am I not afraid of a bit of pain, a bit of discomfort, a bit of strain for long-term gain? Am I not afraid to put myself outside of my comfort zone to make sure that I'm doing the right thing, the healthy thing for myself and my kids. So,
and I can tell you guys, as somebody who's never been punched or in a fight or anything like any physical altercation, the last 5 weeks I've been kicked in the stomach, I've been punched in the jaw ever so lightly, and it has woken me to what can happen on the streets. It can be scary. Physical
yeah, that was a good shot.
doesn't matter. And like Sammy said, just avoiding it because it feels overwhelming, it's not an answer. And I did that for many years, and I acknowledge that I do. So, Sammy, I would love for you to put on this
Sammy, here you go.
what it actually is. Because we're going to try to unlock the inner jihad in ourselves today.
this is actually the origins of Tal's fatwa right here. It says right here in Arabic. Wait, again, I lost the camera somehow. It hasn't moved. The nation of Israel lives. I'm Israel Chai. Yes, my friend.
Teach me one quick thing practically right now that I could do if one of the fatwa boys wants to come and get me. What can I do? Show me.
Someone
a quick
wants to swing at you. The
Yeah.
best thing to do is to come in, and you want to protect your head. So instead of protecting your head with your weak hands, you want to go like this. Use your whole arm to protect
Take
your
my
head.
fez off. Okay.
And you're stepping in.
Stepping in like this.
So with your arms, the whole arm is protecting your head.
Yeah.
You're facing me.
That was crazy. But I want to see this.
You always want to keep your eye on the target.
Okay.
So you're stepping in this way. Come towards me. And now so you've taken your eye off me.
Yeah.
Keep your eye on me. Okay. And now you can use this elbow. See? Exactly.
So hit the fatwa out of you.
Looks something like this.
Oh.
For the camera. Here, I'm looking still at the target. I'm never looking down. And I'm stepping in. My head's still protected. And I can use an elbow in close range. If it's just this one guy who's throwing a baseball bat, who's throwing one of these big haymakers.
This is the confidence that I strive to attain. For real, when you see Sammy work, and this is why I recommend every one of you guys follow him. When you see Sammy work and the confidence he carries within himself, we all have seen his clip that went super viral of him being confronted by these, or attacked by these Islamists on the streets of London. It inspired all of us. It inspired a whole cult following, now I think almost 200,000 followers on Instagram. It's the most amazing thing in the world, and I'm so proud to call this man a friend, an ally, an acquaintance in this space. It's incredible. I want every single one of you guys, not just follow his YouTube channel, follow his Instagram. Everything will be linked down below in the description. We're going to try to get him deeper into the YouTube zone, inspire him to become a bigger and stronger creator. And Sammy,
Nice.
words for me they want to give to the audience to inspire them.
You cannot appreciate a $2,000 couch without walking up the stairs. Good night. I love you, man.
I love that. Was amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Sammy Yahoud down below in the description. Awesome guy. We love him very much. We want to support him as much as possible. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you all the time. A good night, lads. Has this ever happened to you? Hey, are you a Zionist? What is this hesitation? You think Judah the Beckham was hesitating when he's fighting for Israel? Here, take this. You think Queen Esther hesitated before stopping Haman from ending the Jews of Persia? Well, Habibi, you think Herzl thought he was a white colonizer as he Zionized the Jews of the world?
Nice, guys. It's a good game.
I don't care if you're a Muslim, a Jew, or a Christian. You're a Zionist, right? Yeah. Well, a good Zionist.
Let's go, guys. Okay, this is like
They do?
7 for 3. I'm guessing.
I have some incredible designs for you, Yellen. They say everything promised to you 3,000 years ago. Here, take a shirt with a matching hat. For you, good price. They say they kick you for 109 countries. Here, join the 109 club. Take a shirt and a matching hat. For you,
Good price.
Habibi, you want to Zionize? Here,
So I need a score. I need a win, basically.
Here, take a shirt.
Selection soft.
Sticker. Take hoodie. Take.
Take.
Good price. Good price. Good price. Oh, yeah, hey, he understands you. Stop. Good Zionist goes to the travelingclad.com and buys merch. Yalla, Habibi, for you. Good price. If you don't want to buy any merchandise, the best way to support me is by donating on Buy Me a Coffee, my PayPal, or becoming a member on my Patreon. Your support is very much needed and very much appreciated. Thank you.
I am starting to think that this guy could be the guy. I'm not there yet, but after today's speech and him taking all those questions, I'm feeling good.
Just a few things at the outset, just about what I've learned today and what I'm trying to do here. You know, first of all, I want to give a shout out
Gotta catch 'em all.
to the Annunciation school shooting families because, you know, the last time
school shooting.
to meet with some of those families, I understand
Haven't seen
that
this.
a couple of the students have made near miraculous recoveries, and just that was a very special moment for me to be invited into that community at a time of grief, and I hope that all of them know, though I didn't get to see them this particular time, I've been thinking about them and their families quite a bit. Now, to talk about what I am here to do, which is federal law enforcement to enforce our immigration laws, I want to say a few things. First of all, I want to meet with business leaders, with ICE officers, with local law enforcement to try to understand a little bit more about what's going on, so that we can tone down the temperature a little bit, reduce the chaos, but still allow us, as a federal government, to enforce the American people's immigration laws. That is the purpose of my visit. Now, this is step 1 and step 2 of that process. There's going to be a lot of what follows through from here. I'm happy to talk about that, but I think
Nice.
things that were very important. So, number one of the things I learned is that the guys
Established
behind
fucking
do an
cop.
incredible job, and frankly, a lot of the media is lying about the job that they do every single day.
They sure do.
Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't occasionally stories out there aren't occasionally videos out there that suggest that these guys, or at least some of the people who work for them, are not doing everything right. But very often, if you look at the context of what's going on, you understand that these people are under an incredible amount of duress, an incredible amount of
Nice.
and because of a few very far left agitators, a lot
Yeah,
of
bro,
these
shit
guys
up.
are unable
You,
to do their
yeah.
jobs without being harassed, without being doxxed, and sometimes without being assaulted. That's totally unacceptable. And that's one of the things that I want to send a message to is, yes, come out and protest me, protest our immigration policy, but do it peacefully. If you assault a law enforcement officer, the Trump administration and the Department of Justice is going to prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. And I want to show some support for these guys who, frankly, are operating in a very, very tough environment. There are a lot of stories to say
Ooh,
about
that's
that,
a nice
but I think you guys know
thing.
just how chaotic the environment on the ground here has already gotten. For example,
People going
you
ape
know that in the last, I think, week or so, maybe even more recently than that, you've had a couple of ICE officers who were off duty, who had been doxxed online, and were sitting and having a meal at a restaurant in Minneapolis when a bunch of agitators showed up, locked the door, made them feel like they were in danger for their lives, and then, of course, it was federal law enforcement officers who had to come up, put the temperature on the situation, and actually get those two off-duty officers to a point of safety. Now imagine, if you would, your life and your perspective on law enforcement if you can't even go to a restaurant without some agitators locking the door and making you feel like your life is in danger. That is the environment that's been created, I think, by a lot of very, frankly, far left people.
Well, you gotta
also
arrest them, bro.
state and local law enforcement officials
You gotta go after
who
them.
do a much better job of operating and working. By the way, I'm not talking about the cops who these guys told me on the ground. The cops are very sympathetic to what they're dealing with. I'm talking about the state and local elected law enforcement officials who could do a lot better job in making their lives a little bit easier. And in the process, they would make the lives of all Minneapolis residents easier, and that's what we want. We want to be able to enforce the immigration laws on one hand, while on the other hand, we want to make sure that people in Minneapolis are able to go about their day. And I want to say just one last point on this. So, I heard from business leaders today who told me a very tough story, and I think so much of what's gone wrong in Minneapolis is people not trying to understand the perspective of somebody else. Try to understand what somebody else is experiencing, whether they're a law enforcement officer or anybody in the community here in Minneapolis. They told me this
makes a lot of sense.
about this manufacturing facility where an illegal immigrant was being arrested. And as these employees are going into the manufacturing facility, all of a sudden, an illegal immigrant shows up, they don't know it's an illegal immigrant, and then a bunch of ICE officers descend. Now, these people just want to go to work, they want to go to work safely, and now all of a sudden, there's a major law enforcement operation happening right outside their place of business. Now, from my perspective, I certainly understand why a business leader or why an employee would say, well, what's going on? It's a little scary to have your position in life if a bunch of cop cars show up and they're arresting someone. Now, the additional context is that people online have been encouraging illegal immigrants that one way they can evade arrest is by showing up at a legitimate place of business, making it impossible for these guys to enforce their immigration laws. So while I can understand the perspective of somebody who doesn't want to see an arrest happen at their place of work, I can also understand the perspective of our immigration enforcement officers who have to do their
Oof, that was terrible.
Can't allow the heckler's veto.
Wait, you can watch to earn Rocket League drops in mine? I don't know. What do you mean, GG? Not over.
A good job of enforcing our immigration laws without the chaos, but it actually requires the cooperation of state and local officials.
Yes.
If you look at blue cities and blue states, red cities and red states, you go to Austin, Texas, or Memphis, Tennessee. You go to the state of Texas, obviously a very red state, and the state of Tennessee, a very red state, but you've got blue cities within those states, you do not have this level of chaos. The reason why things have gotten so out of hand is because of failure of cooperation between the state and local authorities and what those guys are trying to do. We have a ton of resources, a ton of ICE agents in this city right now that I would rather us not have. I'd love to send those guys home. They're not even doing targeted immigration enforcement. They are trying to protect ICE officers who are doing immigration enforcement because when a crowd surrounds them, and these
Bro, wasn't he again unranked? Seriously?
cops have been told to stand down. So we have
Seriously?
people here who aren't even doing immigration enforcement, they're doing force protection. So that if a rioter tries to ruin the life or assault an ICE officer, they're actually protected.
Seriously, I just lost an unranked, and how did I lose 9?
In that situation, why
Okay, I need to win this.
or the local officials tell the
Another
police, you know
unranked.
what? If an ICE officer
Oh no,
is being
he's
assaulted
7 for
by
my.
a left agitator, you are invited
He might still be
to
unranked.
actually help them. That's what would
Okay, I'm gonna do. I think I can win.
He's right. Literally every jurisdiction, red or blue, in the United States of America. The reason it hasn't happened here is because the local authorities have been told, stand down, do not help ICE, promote the violence, promote the agitation, but don't do anything to lower the temperature and lower the chaos. That's a problem. Here's another example of how the lack of cooperation between state and local officials makes it harder for us to do our job and turns up the temperature. Let's say, for example, we have a criminal migrant who is a sex offender. And let's say we've got to go and arrest that person who, Democrat or Republican, wants a sex offender living in their community. I would assume, I would hope that most
That was a nice shot by him. Still winning.
their last address. We may have known their address 3 years ago, but we don't know their address now. What we'd like to do is talk to local officials and say, you know what, according to the Medicaid rules, where was the last person this person, or where was the last address this person was domiciled? Or according to a SNAP application.
Nice, I got that type of shot. Those types of shots are
Or
like.
maybe they had some local court trouble. We can go to the local courthouse or even the
Oh,
local
nice.
jail and try to find where this criminal sex offender is located. The local authorities have been told, do not cooperate.
Why
So these guys are trying to go out and enforce the law. They're trying to arrest sex offenders, but they're trying to do it in an environment where local officials have been told, do not insurrection, do not provide intelligence about where these sex offenders might be. This is disgraceful.
It's crazy.
There's a lot of things that all of us should do better about temperature, but the number one thing that I learned today is that the best way to facilitate
I'm so glad
peaceful
Matt felt
enforcement of the law,
You're right.
but also to lower the chaos in Minneapolis would be for state and local officials to cooperate. Now, I will say,
3,
on
3,
one final positive
1.
note, I actually think that there's some hope, some reason to think that there's going to be better cooperation in the weeks and months to come. I think that because I've talked to some local officials here, I think there are reasons to believe that these people are going to step up and actually ask the cops to protect our ICE officers when they're being assaulted. Who are going to ask the local courts to cooperate with getting criminal sex offenders out of our community. That's the good news. That's the good news, and that's what I'm going to work on when I get back to Washington. But please, if you're a local official, if you're the mayor of this town, if you have any influence over those people, just tell them to cooperate. Because we can have immigration enforcement operate as smoothly and without the chaos that we see in Austin, Texas, and Memphis, Tennessee, and even the state of Minnesota. All we need is a little cooperation. I guarantee you, we're going to do the best to be professional, to respect people's rights, to not do anything that we don't want to do in order to enforce immigration laws. It would make our lives a lot easier. It would make our officers a lot safer, and it would make Minneapolis much less chaotic. With a little bit of cooperation from the state and local officials. With that, I'll shut up and take some questions. Thank you, guys.
The coolie attitude.
After preschool on Tuesday, we've also seen multiple citizens detained
He just went in there and let him know.
Are you proud?
He just want to let him know.
Is conducting this crackdown here in Minnesota right now?
Well, I'm proud of the fact that we're standing behind law enforcement, and I'm proud of the fact
Oh,
that we're
hoops, let's go, guys.
But you know, you asked
I'm actually one of the lower ratings in hoops.
this terrible story while I was coming to Minneapolis. We just left Toledo, Ohio this morning for an economic assessment.
Oh, there's a kid involved. Oh no, I guess it's not
A
laws.
5-year-old, actually, a 5-year-old boy. And I think to myself, oh my God, this is terrible. How did we arrest a 5-year-old? Well, I did a little bit more follow-up research.
Here we go.
And what I found is that the 5-year-old was not arrested, that his dad was an illegal alien.
And he ran
when they went to arrest his illegal alien father, his father ran.
Yep.
So the story is that ICE detained the 5-year-old. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to let a 5-year-old child freeze to death? Are they not supposed to arrest an illegal alien in the United States of America? And the argument is that you can't arrest people who have violated our laws because they have children, then every single parent is going to be completely given immunity from ever being the subject of law enforcement.
I've been saying.
Yeah, I know. I knew I wouldn't be able to say that. I thought maybe I would if they weren't there, but
There have been a number of situations that I've looked into personally where I say, wait a second.
it didn't have the right balance.
They're supposed to be enforcing the immigration laws against illegal aliens. So then I look into it and I find out that the American citizen who was arrested took a swing at an ICE officer. You can't have that happen. And of course they have to defend themselves. And of course they have the right to detain somebody who assaults someone. Now, this is my point. Do we want these things to happen? Do we want these arrests to be so chaotic? No, these guys want at least of all. If we had a little cooperation from local and federal, or excuse me, from local and state officials, I think the chaos would go way down in this community.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Jesus. No teleprompter, bro.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. We'll take that. After the Renee Good shooting, sir, the administration seemed to, after the Renee Good shooting, the administration seemed to suggest that ICE officers enjoyed near complete immunity. But today you told the Washington Examiner that when appropriate, the administration might take disciplinary actions
Nice.
against ICE agents. So is that
Serious? Okay, he still scored. I thought maybe he was gonna miss it, and that would have been way worse.
That guy in jail.
Wrongdoing would enjoy immunity. That's
Why don't we just put him in jail?
Is that when federal law enforcement officers violate the law, that is typically something that federal officials
Put him in jail.
We don't want these guys to have.
I'm so sick of these people.
We want them to actually have.
Seriously? He's not good enough to save it? I don't know, that's pretty bad.
You learn the context. They didn't actually do anything wrong.
This is easy to save.
These things. Of course, we're
Oh,
investigating
he just, I don't know, he did a random jump. Okay.
respects people's rights and then ensures that if somebody did something wrong, yes, they're going to face disciplinary action, but we're not going to change them in the court of public opinion. I've spoken at length on this particular case. I think Renee Good's death is a tragedy. I also think that she ran an ICE officer with her car. So the tragedy here is multi-layered. The tragedy is there was a misunderstanding. The tragedy is that Renee Good lost her life. The tragedy is that you have ICE officers who are going into communities where they're worried that if they call 911, no one's going to come to help them. That is what produces this terrible situation, and it's something state and local officials here in Minnesota could solve.
Oh my,
yes, sir.
Oh my fucking god. Wow.
Well, you know, it is a shame that kids have to get caught up in this. I'm speaking at Work for Life tomorrow. I'm pro-life. I'm very excited to speak there. I want to talk about local law enforcement, but you know, I mean, look, I am.
This is
as a child, I saw people in my family members. It's terrible. It's heartbreaking. It's chaotic. It's traumatic for the kids. I can recognize that, and I can recognize that just because you're a parent doesn't mean that you get complete immunity from law enforcement. And I think we have to hold both of those thoughts in person at the same time. We've got to be sympathetic to the kids who are caught up in some of these enforcement actions. We've also got to say we have to enforce the law without bias, with fairness, but we've got to enforce the law.
Of course. Oh, whoever that is going to be so annoying. Yeah. That's a Karen.
You said there was an altercation in St. Cloud. Yeah.
The mayor said that ICE did not communicate with them if they were in the city for immediate operation, the police chief
guys didn't do something? Well, I don't know. Like, what is this? Like, you're talking to the manager?
Yeah, I talked with these guys before we came on the stage, but during our roundtable and some of the other communication, we absolutely want to ensure there's good communication between federal officials and state and local officials, and I'm sure that we can do better on that. We absolutely want to make sure that we are communicating, but that also requires a two-way street, and that's the point that I make about state and local officials. These guys will absolutely communicate with state and local officials. They'll tell people if they have to do an enforcement operation in a particular municipality. But part of that is they also want to ensure that if they're communicating about their whereabouts, that's not being used as a weapon against them. Sometimes they tell people where they're going.
Use the law.
Faces are on the, on Reddit or on some social
It's
media.
crazy how he did that, and he didn't say that something.
So that communication has got to be a two-way street. These guys are going to communicate with business leaders, with local officials, with state officials. We also need the local officials and state officials to do a good job protecting people when they're in their communities. We're not asking, by the way, we don't want any police officer in this community, in this state, to help us do immigration enforcement. We've got it. But if a protester shows up and that protester turns violent against our immigration officers, we really, really need the cooperation of our local authorities. We haven't gotten it yet, but I think we really can lower the temperature. Yeah.
Vacation. Oh my God. Oh,
yeah, so I saw that story, and the story is, like so much that I read in the mainstream media, is missing a whole lot of context.
So he knows every single one of them.
Makes sense. No one is saying...
It's practically, it's very hard to win for them, I mean, but I don't think I should have helped them score that basically.
Yeah, exactly, hot pursuit.
There are very narrow exceptions to the warrant requirement. Law enforcement don't need a warrant if, for example, they're in imminent threat of cops.
That's right.
What we've said, what ICE
Oh my gosh, that was so bad.
this is insane. Imposed in the Department of Justice.
It's crazy, they got they literally got, okay, I got it.
The courts will say no, and of course if the courts say no, we follow that law. But nobody's talking about doing immigration enforcement without a warrant. We're talking about different types of warrants that exist in our system. Typically what happens, not always, but typically in the immigration system, those are handled by administrative law judges. So we're talking about getting warrants from those administrative law judges. And then of course with other cases,
I don't know, I think I need to lose
that's very
two
consistent with the
anyway.
practice of American law. I'm sure the courts will weigh in on that, but we're never going to enter somebody's house without some kind of a warrant, unless, of course, somebody's firing on an officer or they have to do something in order to protect themselves.
Man. God damn.
Well,
I need to win this guy.
Enforce the immigration laws of the country under an administrative.
Oh, I almost saved it.
That's what we think. That's our understanding of the law. That's our best faith attempt to understand the
Oh,
law.
I thought I skipped. Okay, whatever.
Weigh in on. I won't speak to that. But yes, most immigration law in our country is not done through the criminal system with the judge. It's done through the administrative law system. We're going to continue that practice just as they did in my administration or any other administration.
Ooh, Insurrection Act. Okay, this is a good question.
I did not talk to him today. I talked to some of his colleagues. Your question on the Insurrection Act is interesting. I've tried to understand this as well as I possibly could. And my understanding is that what the Insurrection Act, what invoking the Insurrection Act would allow the federal government to do, is it would allow the federal government to use the military for local law enforcement operations. Right now, we don't think that we need that. Now, the president can change his mind, of course, things could get worse, but right now, we think that federal law enforcement officers can do the job of federal law enforcement. Now, what I do worry about, again, is that the chaos is getting worse. If more and more ICE agents start getting assaulted, if other law enforcement officers start getting assaulted, that would be a real problem. But again,
3-0 is crazy.
federal law enforcement resources here right now. There's so many people here that we do not want to have. I do not want so many ICE officers in Minneapolis right now. I mean, Lord, it's really, really freaking cold outside. But they're here not even to enforce immigration laws, but to protect the people from the rioters. That's an absurd state of affairs, and we wouldn't need it if we had a little more cooperation from the Minneapolis Police Department. Again, the Minneapolis Police Department, my understanding is that the actual beat cops on the ground, they would love to help out, but they're being told by somebody, I don't know if it's Mayor Frey, they're being told by somebody not to cooperate at all. What kind of person tells their local police don't protect somebody if they're being assaulted by a riot? It's crazy.
Exactly.
Okay, I got it, guys.
He's completely right. It's not even a question.
Why are there so many citizens being caught up in this operation?
Why are there so many U.S. citizens?
Well, I think your question is
Okay, let me go
not
here.
necessarily an evidence, which is that when there are American citizens who've been caught up in some of these enforcement operations, very often it is people who've assaulted a law enforcement. They're not being arrested because they violated the immigration laws. They're being arrested because they punched a federal law enforcement officer. That is a totally reasonable thing. Now, to the accusation of racial profiling, you know, look, it's something we take very seriously. We will take accusations of racial profiling back to Washington. We'll certainly look into them as they come up. But this is not a group that's going around and looking for people who violated the law based on skin color.
Biblically,
They're looking for
yeah,
people who violated this actual rule, the law of our immigration system in this country. And so long as we had more cooperation, I think they can do these things in a much more targeted way. They would actually know where some of the bad guys are. You hear things that are hard to believe, but I confirm that they're true. Sex offenders who are trying to get off the streets, the local officials won't tell us their last known address. So then the local officials say, oh my God, these guys are doing widespread targeted enforcement operations when in reality, we might just go to one house. The local officials won't tell us which.
What is this guy?
This messaging is insane.
How is he that good? Oh, he is literally funny. He was playing really well. This one, yeah.
Being targeted and told to show their papers. What the fuck are
I
they
saw
talking
one
about?
story about this and one local police officer who said this, and look, certainly is a concern, absolutely. The first thing we have to figure out is whether it happened or not.
Yeah.
And then if it happened, whether there is a good explanation or a bad explanation. And of course, if somebody violated the law, if somebody racially profiled, somebody violated the rights of one of our fellow citizens, that is something we will take very seriously. What I also would say is that many of the most viral stories of the past couple of weeks have turned out to be, at best, partially true, but we want to try people based on reality, based on the truth, based on context. We're not going to prejudge people just because a viral social media story that turned out to be half false.
Wow.
Both the roundtable, because I presume that happened. Did you invite anybody with an opposing point of view to get an idea of why people are upset? Just as a quick follow-up.
An opposing point of view? For what?
So I haven't talked to Governor Walz on this particular trip. A number of members of our administration staff spoke to the governor and has been in constant contact with his staff over the past week. We've been, in my office, in constant contact with people here on the ground in Minneapolis. There were certainly people at a roundtable with opposing views, and look, I don't even know, whether it's public, but yes, we met with people with opposing views here at the roundtable. I wanted to get a perspective from everybody, but also, of course,
You can smell your life. He's calling me bad when I'm winning 3-0.
Of this situation, having talked to these guys for a long
I don't
time,
know, that's
this is
fine.
primarily a law enforcement issue. This is the Attorney General, this is the local mayor, this is all of the organs of local and state law enforcement. That's who we focused on. We've certainly been in communication with the governor and his office as well.
Yeah. Jesus, bro. Yeah, he's just 1v-Xing them. This is great. I'm one of this.
If nothing changes there here locally, and this operation has attracted thousands of agents, are there any plans to
Yeah.
Well, right now we're focused on Minneapolis because that's where we have the highest concentration of people who have violated our immigration laws, and that's also, frankly, where we see the most assault of our law enforcement officers. I mean, our plan is very simple. If you assault a federal law enforcement officer, we're going to do everything that we can to put you in prison. It's very simple. And most of these protesters, as much as I may disagree with their politics, most of them have been peaceful, but a lot of them have not been peaceful. And if you go and storm a church, if you go and assault a federal law enforcement officer, we're going to try very hard. We're going to use every resource of the federal government to put you in prison. Respect people's rights.
You can smell me to fucking Palestine.
If you follow that basic principle, the Trump administration is going to do everything that we can to protect your rights. But if you go after somebody, if you assault somebody, if you make a 9-year-old girl cry because you walked into a church and harassed her, we're going to go after you with every single tool that we have.
Vice President. That's with NBC News, sir. Your administration has said repeatedly this is about safety, about making Americans feel safer. So what would you say to people who are in Minnesota who say it's the overwhelming presence of ICE officers and federal officers and their tactics that are making them feel better?
The thing I got is making them so not the sex offenders.
The biggest one-year drop in murders in the history of the United States of America.
That's a lot.
Significant reductions in violent crime. The reason why we have less violent crime is really two reasons. Number one, because we're enforcing the immigration laws and getting very violent criminals out of our country. And number two, because we're enforcing our criminal laws and putting guys with assault and murder behind bars. This is part of a broad effort to make us safe. And the chaos that people are seeing, and I understand there's frustration of the chaos, I'd say we're doing everything we can to lower the temperature, and we would like federal and local, state and local.
I don't get what this is. Is he trying to make me stop? Or like forfeit or something?
Are you saying that they're not seeing that it's the tactics or the presence of the officers that are...
Look, I'm sure that people are seeing a lot of things that would make any member of our national
You
community feel very
can
upset.
smell
But I also
me
think
to
that if you understand
fucking
this in context,
Palestine.
this is the inevitable consequence of a state and local government that have decided that they're not going to cooperate with immigration enforcement law. In fact, they're going to aggressively not cooperate. Here's a basic illustration of this. If you are an ICE agent and you have to arrest a person who's committed assault, also an illegal alien, but the state and local officials won't help you identify that person, many of the things that people in Minneapolis are seeing that give them pause, that frustrate them, that worry them, that make them feel like things are too chaotic, many of these things are coming from the fact that there's no cooperation with state and local law enforcement. And that's what I would tell people. Again, many of them are justifiably concerned and worried about what they're seeing in their communities. Is why are we not seeing it anywhere else? We're seeing this level of
You
chaos
can smell me to fucking Palestine.
pretty much every jurisdiction where these guys are operating. You don't see the same level of chaos. You don't see the same level of violence. You don't see the problems that we're seeing in Minneapolis. Maybe the problem is unique to Minneapolis, and we believe that it is. And it's the lack of cooperation between state and local law enforcement and federal law enforcement. Sure.
ICE has been operating here for years with less pushback than we're seeing right now. Even the St. Paul police chief recently said is there not a way to find common ground without scaring the hell out of people for years. Those are his words. And I just wonder, with this operation,
Scaring the hell out of people.
is any part of it meant to send
You mean mentally ill hysterical carriers?
leaders here in Minneapolis and the state of Minnesota? And I know you talked about you've been in touch with the governor's offices and the mayor's offices, but why have you not been able to speak to them directly? Have they not been willing?
They don't want to listen.
Well, look, I have spoken to some of the people in Minnesota. I spoke to some of them today. I spoke to others in the past. And again, our staff has been in very direct contact with pretty much every official with any influence or any power in Minneapolis. But no, we're not trying to send a political message. We're trying to enforce the law. And unfortunately, what has happened is that as we've enforced the law, there's been this weird reaction. Again, unique to the city. This is not a common thing across the United States of America. Very Minneapolis-specific reaction to law enforcement of federal immigration laws. What I'm trying to bring here today is understanding why that is. What is it about Minneapolis that has become so chaotic? What are the specific types of cooperation that we need? Look, I don't need Tim Walz or Jacob Frey say that they agree with J.D. Vance or Donald Trump on immigration. I just don't need that. What I do need them to do is empower their
I have no idea what 2008 means.
or help our federal officials out in a way where this can be a little bit less chaotic and it can be a little bit more targeted. Like, if we're trying to find a sex offender, tell us where the guy lives. Simple things like that, simple changes in how they're approaching immigration enforcement would make this work a lot better. It would make Minneapolis' streets a lot safer. It would make this whole thing a lot less traumatic for this community. I'll take one more question.
Wow.
You said that it's time to turn down the temperature. Does that include changes to road lights and community
Oh, Shane, stop enforcing the law.
Hey, Cypher. Oh, I gotta actually do game shit.
Uh-huh.
officers have been cooperating with ICE all along, handing over criminals once they serve their sentences to ICE officials.
Uh-huh.
You can see that there is some cooperation with the state.
Yeah, look, if I was going to list the 5 agencies locally and statewide that I'm most worried about, I wouldn't put the Department of Corrections on that list. I think that while there are certain things we'd like to see more from them, they've hardly been the worst offenders. You agree with that, guys? That's a fair assessment. But I think you talked about tactics. You talked about response to things. Look,
It's not even a question, it's an argument.
Tactics that we don't employ the kind of tactics that are only necessary when violence is committed against officers. That is this guy's directive, and that's what we're going to try to do. And again, the president said this a couple of days ago. Whenever you have a law enforcement operation, even if 99.99% of the guys do everything perfectly, you're going to have one mistake. That is the nature of law enforcement. What I do think that we can do is working with state and local officials, we can make the worst moments of chaos much less common. And all they've got to do is meet us halfway. These guys want to communicate with them. They want to talk to the local business leaders. Many of these guys, many of the people standing behind me are members of the Minneapolis community. Many of the officials that I met today who work in federal immigration enforcement, this is their home. They love this place. These are their neighbors. They want this to work a lot more smoothly. I think that we can get there. We just got to work at it a little bit, and we need some cooperation from state and local officials. Last thing that I'll say is I just hope they give it. This is a beautiful city.
It was.
I've been here 3 times. I love it. Even this weather, I love Minneapolis. We can do a lot better. We can do a lot more with more cooperation. The Trump administration, the directive that I got from the President of the United States is meet these guys halfway. Work with them so that we can make these immigration enforcement operations successful without endangering our ICE officers, and so that we can turn down the chaos a little bit at least. I think a lot, actually. But for us to do that, we need some help from the state and local officials who will keep on working with them, and as long as they're willing to work with us, they will always find a partner in the state and law enforcement in the Trump administration. Thank you.
Wow. Somebody's clapping. Oh my god. Bro. Jesus Christ, he cooked them. Wow. Holy shit. One guy. Dude. I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I mean, like, he just went up there and let him know. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Yeah, like, honestly, like, he went up there and said everything that I think. He did. He went up there and said everything that I think. I was like, you know what? Like, that's what I would say. At least that's how I would say. That's what I would want to be able to say, right? And, like, he went up there and he just said that, yeah. Communication war, man. That's insane. Oh my fucking god. He probably watches the stream. There's a chance that I might, there's maybe a possibility that, maybe something could happen. I don't want to make any promises or anything like that, but there is definitely a possibility that something could maybe happen. I just don't know. Me going somewhere particularly. And, I'm not sure, right? It depends. I haven't really looked into everything, but, yeah. And so, I don't want to, I'm not trying to make any promises or make any commitments or say anything else. I'm just saying in general that's what it is. And, yeah, we don't know. But anyway, I am so fucking happy to see this. I'm going to be honest. Like, he went out there and he just said everything that I think. He did. He literally just went out there and laid it on the exact way that I look at it. That's the case. You want to say, no, I'm just telling you that. No, the reason why a lot of people are trying to talk to me is because what I'm saying is true. And I think that it resonates with a lot of people. And so
Nice guys, shit, bro. This didn't nice, bro.
Finally, you know, they're on the ball with this, right? I mean, this is a big dick day. This is amazing. This is $2.20 a month? No, not that exactly. UFC White House next to Trump and Dana. I will say this. I know people who have a situation that could potentially, basically, I think that there's a good chance that if I want to go to that, I could go to that. Because I know people that are involved, right?
Yeah, bro, this one's hard. 1v1 is hard.
I'm not saying that it's going to happen. But if I could do that, that would be fucking insane. And so, yes, the Department of Gaming, that's right, guys. And Caleb, I don't know about Caleb. I haven't talked to Caleb, actually. I probably should. I like the guy a lot. So,
who's gaming?
And 2026 is your year? I mean, maybe, right? I mean, every year things seem to get better. Honestly, I kind of wish they get worse so I could just relax a little bit, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, shit's been going on. It's been getting so real recently that I've been getting stressed out. I'm like, damn, like, we got all this pressure, everything happening here. You honestly should go. Like, maybe I should. I mean, like, and I've also had a lot of people, Democratic people, actually reach out to me too, if you want me to be honest. I've had a lot of them, you know, people in positions that are specific. And, yeah, I appreciate it. I think that, you know, again, like,
Oh shit, you appreciate it. Not all that shit's great.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Last question. Arctic frost. It is getting bigger, and I talked to sources this morning. It's about to explode, and things that we thought were long lost and gone. I want to be a little cryptic. Are not lost. That's right. Not gone. That's right.
Yeah, I will be a little cryptic too because I know that we're sort of, it's still in the early stages of this investigation, but look, Sean, he's one of the great scandals in American history. I think this is definitely the Biden administration and the deep state using the apparatus of justice to go after their political opponents.
I might have done a double.
The thing is, like, you can never say that you don't want to use a weapon. You want to control the weapon. You want to make sure that you have absolute control over the weapon. You want to use the weapon on anybody else that even talks about using the weapon, so they don't even think about it. That's what you have to use it more than they do. Exactly. Yeah, you immediately do that. Go all the way. Eye for an eye? No. Eye for as far as you can get. Because, again, fairness is predictable. Unpredictability is scary. People can, you can expect that the world's going to end at a certain period of time, and people will eventually get used to that. But the idea that something crazy could happen out of nowhere, that's scary. So if you really want to scare the fuck out of people, and you want to make them afraid, and you want to make them do what you want, you can't be fair. Fairness is predictable. Fairness you can calculate. Fairness you can control. But unfairness, you can't control that. So if you want to control other people, you have to be unfair. Look at every single other person in power ever, in all history, and you will see the same exact thing. It's human psychology. Actually evil? No. You do this so you don't have to deal with evil.
You literally
This is how you
escaped
have to
my
stop that.
wrath.
Sometimes you have to take methods and do strategies that are, you know, like, let's say not the best. You know, this isn't something that a fucking that a Boy Scout would do. It's not something that Mother Teresa would do. It's not something that you know, a kindergarten teacher would do. But it's something that a real one would do. And do you want to have a kindergarten teacher that's making decisions for you, or do you want to have a real one making decisions for you? Think about that.
And I also think it raises a very critical issue, and something that I'd encourage my Senate friends on the Republican side to wake up about, because eventually you're going to see prosecutions, not just Arctic frost related, but on a whole host of directions. Eventually we need certain subpoenas that have to be issued by court. Eventually we need local prosecutors, U.S. attorneys, to go after some of these people in a court of law. If you can't get a U.S. attorney appointed because the Democrat will give you a blue slip, or you can't get a judge confirmed because the Democrat Democrats are coming up the walls of the Senate.
Okay, I got it, guys.
Republicans have got to open up their perspective a little bit. And again, I said some of these people are very dear friends of mine, but why do we allow the blue slip process?
Why even play the game? Why do you even play the fucking game? Do not even play the game. They rig the game so they win.
To prevent
Oh, Teresa was evil? I know, yeah, she would make people suffer so they feel closer to God. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I said, oh, maybe that's not a good example. But I thought to myself, oh, the people don't know about that. It's fine, they'll go through. But you did know about that. You're right. Sorry, though. I grew up in the 90s as a Catholic. I can't handle Mother Teresa. It's illegal for me to do that.
President from appointing a U.S. attorney. Why do we let the blue slip process make it impossible for Donald Trump to appoint a federal judge in California? It's about justice. You've got to empower the United States to actually appoint the officers of justice all over the country. The Democrats are stalling that, and we're going to make
Because they don't want to that fucks up their system.
a couple of years. If we don't have more U.S. attorneys approved, if we don't have more judges approved, we're going to wake up in a couple of years and realize that we've done a lot of great work at the Trump administration, but justice is not being meted out as it should be for the people on the ground. That is a big problem, and I know that's
Guys, I'm gonna stop.
but it actually is related to Arctic frost because you cannot get the justice for the people who are targeted by the Biden administration unless we've got good people, especially in these U.S. attorneys' offices, and that's something, Sean, we got to pay attention to over the next year.
Sad is the statute of limitations. To destroy him using
What the hell? How am I hitting it, the ball that badly? Like I had 2 terrible 50s or something like that. Oh, there's still 2. I'm still 2 points ahead, not 1 point ahead.
A Supreme Court justice in like 2009. Remember that in 2008? Like that's the kind of big dick behavior you need. And they did that. And you know what happened? It worked. It worked. At the end of the day, it worked. Was Merrick Garland? Yeah, that was him.
And Congress along with the President of the United States. Some of this stuff is going to get talked about statute of limitations. Some of the stuff, Sean, some of the stuff we can and we should prosecute. This is going to be a real problem. And then the people who watch your show are going to get really pissed at Senate Republicans, excuse my language, if we don't have the U.S. attorneys on the ground to actually achieve justice. People are angry and rightfully so.
Bro, 6-7.
Honestly,
Dude, I can't let him score.
I really am. I'm waiting on this for a while, right? But yeah, this is it. And words won't stop anything. Exactly. That's what I really want to get in. That's what I really want to see. And I'm happy to see this a lot.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know why I kind of too early. Yeah, I'm gonna end right now. I'm gonna watch Rocket League on my own, and I will see my Twitch statistics. Bye guys, see you.